Hey, good morning everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do a little experiment today. And I got this from another YouTube page, which is the Canadian Concrete Pumper. A very interesting guy to watch. And I'm going to try one of his experiments that he was showing on a page. I thought it was really cool. But here, let me show you what we're going to do. We are going to try the sugar, brown sugar, and what this is going to do is this is going to kill the concrete. So in a situation where you have to get on the road to go dump this, or if you're on a job site and something fails on the truck, you can dump brown sugar in your hopper and it will kill that concrete. Now let me highly stress this. This should not be used and should not be played with for structural concrete, because this is going to completely tear this concrete down to nothing. I've always heard that back in the day with sodas, white sugar, it will do the same, but brown sugar will apparently dilute better in the concrete, which makes it a little more potent. So we're going to experiment with that today. First, I'm going to scrub the truck up, and we're going to head to a job here later on and get this day started. Now, what I did the other day is I picked up a few ammo boxes, kind of dry boxes, I guess you could say. They got a little seal right there around them, just kind of a little latch. And I kind of thought, I picked a few up just to try and experiment here for a little while, because, you know, you can never have enough totes, I guess, around. But I'm going to pack brown sugar in one, and I've got a second one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up a bunch of the little mini delay set retarders. I'm going to keep that in there so that it does not get hard, does not get moisture in there, and these won't come out very often, just because it's more of emergency type use stuff in here. But anyway, we're going to start cleaning the truck here a little bit, and I'm going to go out on the job here, I believe about noon. I got to go up over a small power line and back down under a bridge. I cannot talk this morning. Back down under a bridge. And then we're going to get that brown sugar out, and I'm going to dump here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dump this little coffee cup full of it in the hopper. I'll stir it around, and we're going to see what it does. And I'm going to go up here in the shop, grab a few cylinders, and I'll probably fill some cylinders with it, bring it back, and sit it outside for the weekend, and we'll see what it does. Alright guys, this is a pretty basic setup really. I'm sitting, kind of got myself in a heavy Z, and I'm up underneath this bridge here just a little bit. Z'd underneath, I'm just pouring straight out of the tip, which this is only 10 yards, and it's kind of a footing.
Give me a little vibration on there.
There you go. We're going to shake on the vibrator for him. This is a 6.35 mix, so this will be a little stouter than normal here. So we're going to see what the brown sugar does. I'm anxious. And we're right here in the middle of Jackson too. The reason there was some power lines right over there, I could have sat on the road and went over and back under. But obviously, if you can avoid power lines, it's the best way to do it. So get back to this, and as soon as I get done, I'm going to dump a cupful of that in the hopper. We're going to stir that around a little bit, pull some samples. All right, here goes, guys. We're going to mix the brown sugar in this cup, dump it in the hopper. I'm going to go ahead and pump down, and this is the dark brown, so I don't know if it matters. we should pack it in there. I don't know. This is an experiment, and only for emergency situations. Do not, or if you're traveling with concrete for a while, do not be goofing around with sugar with concrete, because it will. A can of soda, white sugar, anything will mess with concrete. So do not be playing with sugar around concrete. This is just a test experiment, and we're going to see what happens here. So all right, there's my sugar, and then we're gonna get a scoop full of that here just in a little bit. Okay, that's all we got in there. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix a little bit more water in that. I'm gonna get this stirred up real good, and I need to pump down, and then I will go ahead and pull the ball back, and I'm going to reach in there and scoop up some of that, and we're gonna see what this does. Okay, here goes, guys. I'm gonna crack the bottom door open. I'm gonna grab the cup. We are going to get some concrete out of there. I can set that there without making this. Here it goes. Okay, I'm going to set this out of the way here until I get cleaned up. Right there it is. This has a cup full of brown sugar in it. So we will see what it does. I'm going to continue to clean. And that's just an old Gatorade cup right there. I cleaned it out. So I'm going to get cleaned up and be on the road. Alright guys, I'll show you where I pumped down. What we had here was, this was the first load right here. I'll show you how hard that first load is. And the second load's what I put the brown sugar in on. If I got it sitting right there, I cleaned it up around the edge just a little. And as you can see, it still even shakes around a little. So we will we'll see. I'll get back to shop. I'm going to take that home. I'm going to let that sit for a few days, and we're going to see what it does. All right guys, I'm going to grab this and we're going to take the ride home back to the shop. I'm going to do a little bit more I think I'll do a little bit more spraying on the truck today. Using some new degreaser. We've had it for a while, and we've recently put in mixer valves, so it mixes a lot more portional, and then we put it into our sprayer. And also I'm trying to get away from form oil, which just always leaves these hoses black. And so far it's really doing a good job, and it does not take off paint. It was actually cleaning so good, I thought it was taking paint off, but here we go. All right guys, just got back home, and still concrete is still pretty well liquidy. This was batched at 10:23 a.m. So right now we're on 4 hours. 4 hours of set time on this, and once again I'm going to put this in the windowsill. I'm going to leave it overnight. We're going to see what it does. Just demonstrating to you though what brown sugar does to concrete. And this is a 6.35 bag mix, which I classify more along the high strength mix, because typically you see about a 5, 5.5, 6, and this is a little bit higher. So we'll see what this does overnight and see what happens. It is 5:30 the next day after we poured this concrete, and this still has the brown sugar in it. So let's see what happens here. Oop. There you go. That is literally that was batched at 10:30 on a Thursday morning, and it's 5:30 right now on Friday morning. So there's not, well, there's been a little bit of change. There's really no sense in me to keep going farther on this little experiment, because I think you're going to see what happens. But when this does try and set up, it will crumble. And this is where we highly say that this is not structural concrete. And you got to be very careful with sugar. And it should be only used in emergency situations. So, but there you go, brown sugar. I'm going to let it sit here until I get back, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, it's been 28 hours since this concrete has been batched, and we're going to see what it looks like. A big shout out to Canadian Concrete Pumper. I watched him do this a while back, and something I've always wanted to try and do, so I did it. And I had about a 12-ounce cup of brown sugar in with roughly a yard of concrete, whatever is in the hopper. So let's take a look. Let's see what it did. Okay, here we go. Here's the moment. Oh yeah. There it is, guys. There it is. And let's see if you can now, I'm pretty sure after this finally dries out, which probably gonna take a while, but after this finally dries out, it's just gonna crumble. But right there is what brown sugar does in a emergency situation. This is something that would be excellent. However, I would definitely not try and joke around about it, because this could mess up somebody's pour very, very bad, very quick. So anyway, there it is, and hope y'all enjoyed watching this. And I think next time we're going to shove one in the deep freeze, and we're going to see what it does. So I'm kind of curious, if I fill up a couple cylinders and put it in the freezer, what will happen after 5 days versus 2 weeks. So, but somebody's not very happy. Alrighty, thank you all for watching, and hit the like button and subscribe, share it with your friends. We'll see you on the next one.